This is KCBD News Channel 11's Daybreak Today.
Now at 6, jury deliberations are set to continue today in the capital murder trial of Hollis Daniels. We will be live at the Lubbock County Courthouse. Plus, Olton ISD says the source of a carbon monoxide leak has been found. We'll explain their next steps after 2 students became ill from the toxic gas. And 3 people are dead after a mass shooting in Central Florida, including a child and TV news reporter. We'll have those stories just ahead, but first, good morning. Thanks for starting your day with us. We'll get to all of that as well as your forecast with Steve Devine, but Michael can too. What do you have at the News Now desk?
Morning, Angie. Well, we're talking weather as parts of California are under weather warnings not seen in a few decades, and some new information should be coming from the Ohio Trail derailment today as the Transportation Secretary stops by. But for now, let's turn to Steve and get a check of the forecast. Morning, Steve.
Good morning, and our forecast has some good news in it. We're in between weather systems right now. Fair skies are showing up here on the radar, and that's going to be the case today. We'll see a couple of clouds, but generally sunny, so a dry day. But it's 27 right now in Childress, freezing at Plainview, but Lubbock is still at 40 degrees at the moment. In the breeze, though, it feels like about 31 here. Plainview 27, Childress right now, the wind chill is 18 degrees. So we have much less wind in the forecast for us today. Still a bit breezy at 10 to 20 miles per hour, especially this afternoon. And again, a couple of clouds, but generally sunny. Our temperatures will be back in the 60s here in the Lubbock area, similar to what we saw yesterday temperature-wise. Less wind in the forecast coming up the next couple of days, so I'll be back to take a look at that. Temperatures will take a little bit of a dip as well, though,
okay.
Angie.
All right. Thank you, Steve. Jury deliberations will continue this morning in the capital murder trial of Hollis Daniels. We go now live to Daybreak reporter Patricia Perry at the Lubbock County Courthouse. Patricia, where are we starting things off this morning?
Yeah, good morning, Angie. The case went to the jury yesterday after Daniels took the stand and both sides presented closing arguments. Daniels testified that his thinking may have been irrational because of Xanax and depression, but a part of him still made those choices. Prosecutors say he chose a life of lawlessness and deception. District Attorney Sunshine Stanek says Daniels is a manipulator who cannot be trusted to go into the prison system. The defense said that the state did not prove that Daniels would be a continuing danger, pointing out that he has not committed any violent crimes since his arrest. Daniels' attorney says his actions that night were influenced by mental health issues and drugs. The jury will decide if Daniels receives life in prison without parole or the death penalty. Remember, for Daniels to get the death penalty, the jury must be unanimous. We will be here all day to bring you live updates on our website and on air as we learn them. Angie.
Thank you so much, Patricia. And meanwhile, a Lubbock judge wants to remind folks of the importance of a jury and its responsibilities. On Tuesday, a Lubbock defense team asked for a mistrial after it discovered several jurors had been on social media. Judge William Eichmann determined none of the jurors read any articles or posts about the case, so the trial continued. Eichmann says it's important for jurors to follow those rules because they alone are the ones who determine the facts in someone's guilt or innocence.
When the citizens are called down to serve as a juror, they should really respect that situation and feel good about themselves for participating in our government. There aren't too many ways that our citizens can. Voting is one way, and serving as a juror is another.
Now, if you get a jury summons in the mail, you can register online the Tuesday before the week of the trial. If you are selected and fail to show up, you could face a fine of up to $500. And more winter weather is moving across the nation. Michael has the latest look from the News Now desk. What's going on out there, Michael?
Well, Angie, this newest storm today is making its way through California right now. For the first time since 1989, a blizzard warning is in effect for the Southern California mountains. Check out what's already fallen in Crestline. That's near the San Bernardino Mountains. So far, the weather has knocked out power to around 40,000 customers. Several feet of snow is expected in the mountains. Those blizzard warnings, by the way, are in place until Saturday. In the next half hour, we'll talk about some nasty weather. It's also pummeling Minnesota this morning. Angie?
It looks nice from here, but probably not without power. All right, thanks, Michael. Olton ISD is canceling classes again today after a carbon monoxide leak was located. A state inspector found the carbon monoxide leaks were coming from a dryer in the gymnasium. This comes after 2 students were sent home Tuesday after becoming ill from exposure to the gas. The school says it will replace its gas-powered dryer with an electric one, test all of its carbon monoxide sensors, freezers and air out the gym today. They are taking all precautions. If testing shows the facilities are safe by the end of the day, the school will resume class tomorrow. Here in town, 2 people are recovering after a crash in the Depot district. Lubbock police responded to 19th Street and Buddy Holly Avenue around 10:15 last night. When they got there, they found one person with moderate injuries, another person with minor injuries. So far, the names of those involved have not been released. The crash is under investigation. And topping headlines across the nation, a man is behind bars this morning after a mass shooting in Central Florida. Police say 5 people were shot. 3 of them are dead. Among those killed, a child and a television news reporter. John Lawrence reports.
Authorities in Orange County, Florida, arrested and charged a man in connection with a fatal shooting spree Wednesday.
He is 19-year-old Keith Melvin Moses.
The Orange County Sheriff's Office says at 11:17 a.m. local time, deputies responded to an incident where a woman in her 20s was shot and killed, allegedly by Moses.
Detectives had already done their canvass of the neighborhood and had cleared the scene, and were out actually following leads on this suspect, Moses, because they quickly developed him as a suspect in this case.
Nearly 5 hours later, authorities say Moses fired at an Orlando news crew reporting on the earlier shooting incident. One of the victims, a television reporter from Spectrum News 13, died.
The suspect is not saying much right now. It is unclear if he knew they were news media or not. We're still trying to work all of that out.
The Orange County Sheriff's Department says Moses then entered another house and shot a woman and her 9-year-old daughter. The daughter died, and the mother is in critical condition as of Wednesday night.
No one in our community, not a mother, not a 9-year-old, and certainly not news professionals, should become the victim of gun violence in our community.
Charter Communications, the parent company of Spectrum News, released a statement saying they are deeply saddened by the loss of our colleague and the other lives senselessly taken. I'm John Lawrence reporting.
So sad. So far, there's no word on a possible motive for the shootings. The Sheriff's Department says the suspect has a lengthy criminal history. Michael.
Andy, right now, Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg is making his way to Ohio. He will scope out the scene of the area where a train hauling chemicals crashed in East Palestine. We've been talking about it for a few weeks now. Residents continue to feel concerned about the air and water quality in the area. Now, the Transportation Department says it will check and to see if the Environmental Protection Agency is working fast enough to clean up. Also coming in today, the Transportation Safety Board will issue a report on what caused that derailment. Angie?
Thank you. Checking in now with Steve Devine. He has a look at your morning weather as you prepare for your day. Hi, Steve.
Good morning. A lot less wind. That's the main weather headline for today. We're starting off with just a little bit of a breeze. Most of the area, no more than about 10 miles per hour. Most of the area. Skies are clear right now. Tower cam here is looking out towards the northwest. This is Interstate 27, by the way, northbound off to the right-hand side of your screen. Now, in terms of yesterday's peak wind reports, before we get to the wind relief, close to 70 miles per hour in the southwestern part of the viewing area, Denver City and Plains. Hobbs, 67 miles per hour. Seagrave, 66. And right around 60 miles per hour, New Home here in Lubbock, Slayton, the Sundown area as well, White River Lake. New Deal, peak wind gust 58 miles per hour. Currently, the Lubbock Airport, mostly fair skies, 40 degrees. There is a bit of a breeze, so that makes it feel like it's about 31 at the moment. The wind here out of the northwest. Plainview Airport is 31 with a light wind. The wind chill is 26. So chilly to somewhat cold start. Temperatures warming into the 60s up here on the Cap Rock today. Air mass will be a little bit colder or cooler off the Cap Rock, so highs only in the 50s in the northeast. Could see some readings get close to 70 degrees in the southern part of the viewing area. Lubbock this afternoon, 68. Overnight, we're looking at a few clouds, becoming mostly cloudy by early tomorrow, but the low temperature down to about 31 degrees. Light breeze tomorrow morning. And by the way, winds remain on the light side tomorrow into Saturday. Now, tomorrow we may get a few sprinkles in the area with a mostly cloudy sky, high of about 55. That's a little chilly. And then some spotty light rain showers in the area on Saturday. 40% chance of seeing some measurable precipitation. But again, would expect it to be light, and for the most part, probably a few hundredths of an inch here and there. Angie?
Thank you, Steve. It's 6:09 on your Thursday morning. It's National Toast Day. Not sure if you knew that. You might add that to your breakfast this morning. Coming up, another major road project is also set to begin next week. So we're helping you with your morning commute. Plus, we're honoring another Lubbock leader as we celebrate Black History Month. So glad you're here with us. Stay with us. You're watching Daybreak today on News Channel 11.